Hello, friends. Um, there's already a couple of players that have made a video regarding this, but I thought I will, have my own thought process, share that regarding this latest cool thing that seems to be going on, which is the secondary season one hero costumes. We already have got season one's primary hero costumes for all, which is legendary, rare, and epic. And we recently in beta 50 have received secondary costumes for five-star heroes, the legendary ones, and one for Khalil, which is a four-star hero. So I wanted to very quickly have a word, as to how I see it and what are the implications, because there are all kinds of views out there, and obviously the views have the habit of going on certain tangents, which is fine completely, because the more of us are out there, the more diverse will the views be. However, at the same time, there is something to celebrate over here. And as I speak, it should become more and more clear. So let's dive in. These are the legendary costumes that are there in the current beta 50, which is Domitia, Alkanen, Horgo, Isarnia, June, Justice, Kagan, Leonidas, Magni, Obakan, Quintus, and of course, our dear sweet Viveka. Now, what's going on? I personally feel it's a master stroke by SG, the game owner, or Zynga, whoever one wants to term as the game owner, or the game administrators. Why? There has been for more than a year a very active campaign discussion on the community forum regarding season one heroes being obsolete, season one heroes being really badgered, bashed up, and irrelevant. So something needs to be done, and this topic crops up every time there is a hero rebalance. That why not this one and why not that one regarding the season one heroes? So SG has designed something and put it up for testing. So what are the benefits that season one costumes give? Especially when I look at a wide player base, and my discussion and focus since I've started my YouTube channel, or rather activated it, is mainly a wide player audience, not for the players that spend, not for the specific players that have got deep rosters, because I am one player who has a good roster, but at the same time, not such a deep roster like many players. However, I'm the in between, and I see that there are some great heroes that I don't use. So again, that doesn't reduce the value of theirs. But I have too many heroes to choose from, and that is a very different playing experience. And I end up learning from players that have limited roster options on how to creatively use roster and the heroes. And I like that more. I'm opening to like that more. I'm also seeing some of the players that earlier would not take, say, for example, healers in their play, going for raids and wars with two healers. I mean, that's hilarious for me. There are players who used to be mono and they have become 3-2 or they become 4-1 with two, healers. So there's a huge paradigm shift that's constantly happening with wide player roster options. So more and more players have got a more diverse roster coming from all kinds of heroes that exist out there. And if these heroes can be made accessible through more less spending methods, which is the seasonal events, which is various other methods, it's fantastic because there are more wide and diverse heroes out there. I will cut to the chase and get on to the context and the theme of this discussion. So, what is the one thing that is happening with these hero costumes that are being tested right now? This is what's happening. The costume bonus has increased, which means the hero stats when it comes to attack, defense, health is going to increase. So there is a main hero, there is a first costume, and now there is a secondary costume. So there are three aspects, which means attack, defense, and health are going to get multiplied by 3, which is they become 15, 15, 30. Also, the last one I kept separate, which is mana. That, for whatever reasons, SG has decided not to multiply by 3, but multiply by 2, which means it doubles from 5 to 10%, which also is huge because that puts into play heroes that are slow speed with the right kind of troops, with the right kind of emblem nodes, which is, you remember that all heroes have that one mana bonus emblem node, which gives 2%, and certain heroes get 4% added mana once that node is cleared. So when all these bases are covered connected to mana, a slow hero can technically become fast. There are calculations that exist on the forum, and please look that up. I will, skip that in this particular part. Now, going down to the heroes. So what's happening? There are some very interesting things that have been done to the specials, and there are certain heroes, hero specials like defense down, elemental defense down, attack up, dispel, cleanse, that have been added in this round of secondary costumes. There is something very interesting that has happened, and I will come to that, or rather, let me start with that. So, you remember our dear old Quintus? See what's happened. His power with the secondary costume goes to 880, which is in line with all the new heroes that are coming out. They're in the higher 800s. Attack moves to 865, 740 defense, which is fairly decent, and 1753 is the health. But going down, deals 225 damage to all. And then comes the kicker. All enemies automatically cast mindless attack on a random ally when mana is full at the start of the turn during 3 turns. You remember how crazy Alfrike is? And we still have many good spending pay-to-play players chasing Alfrike. Well, there is a Kalevala hero, and now we have our very own Season 1 Quintus costume that gives a mindless attack. So options of some of the specials are increasing. And this is healthy and fantastic for the game because more and more players will have access to this. There is another very unique thing that is going to happen. The moment one pulls a costume of Season 1, Hero Now, both the costumes come together with the hero, which means there is a wider choice available via the costume route. So there you go. Now I'm going to just go through like the Misha. I'm going to skip the stats that can be read by whoever is watching this. Let me go straight into the specials. So 335 damage to target and nearby enemies, hit 3. Target and nearby enemies get minus 54 defense against dark, which means 3 heroes like a Guardian Panther without the costume get minus 54 defense against dark. So there you have elemental defense down available via the Misha. Deals extra damage against Holy. So there is that aspect of Ursena also over here, who hammers. Now 335 plus there is extra damage. I would like to believe it'll go into the 400s. She technically becomes a sniper, a hit 3 sniper against a Holy. So there you have it. Let's look at Leo. What this secondary costume does. Hit all, that is 240 damage to all enemies. And the stats really go up. So this high stats do that 240 damage. Reduces the mana of all enemies by 10%. So remember, this is done by, if I remember, Neath does that. Hits all and mana reduction of all. Now, what the third aspect that Leonidas does, costume Leonidas does, is all enemies get minus 34 defense for 3 turns. Against Dark, this status effect becomes uncleansable and lasts 2 turns longer. Something that has been taken from the special style of the Kalevala heroes or Kalevala heroes, whichever way you would like to pronounce. So, what is unique in these two specials that I just showed? They have 3 parts. There is a direct damage. There is something unique that is being done to certain number of heroes or all heroes, which is a mana or something else. And there is a defense down. And then there is a fourth addition in case of Leonidas. It stays extra for against dark heroes and it's not cleansable. So there is a nice mix and match of new version of heroes that is being introduced in the specials for the season 1 through the secondary costume. I now want to visit a hero that none of us like, or most of us don't like, and that is Oberkhan. What the hell happened to Oberkhan? Well, he now deals 260 damage to a target and nearby enemies. Excuse me. The caster and nearby allies counterattack with 85% of the damage received. So there's a counterattack. The caster and nearby allies regenerate a moderate amount of mana for each counterattack. This gets diminished. Does that remind you of a hero? You remember the villain? There is a fire hero. I don't remember the name. I think not Asterius, but somebody else. I have that hero. Isrod. So Isrod, a new generation hero, has this special. And this is at average speed. Oberkhan secondary costume delivers it at fast speed. So, what's happening? Isn't this a juicy, attractive costume that a player will now want to have? Attack, it has an attack of 829 with both the costumes done, 793 defense, which is fairly good, and 17, a whopping 1723 health. It's crazy. And can you see something written below that? It's fighter class. This bugger revives. Now, how painful would that be? Let's go and check one more costume out. Viveka! She is the slow weirdo. I don't like her, and many of us keep her at 370 because we have got more exotic healers. Well, this is what she's doing now. Boosts health of all allies by 500, and boosted health can exceed XP. Do you realize that all the boosted health heroes that everybody likes to use are slow speed? They are now at par, and Viveka is at par with them. Isn't she now a latest hero instead of being called a season 1 obsolete hero? Give it a thought. And she goes one better on all these new brand heroes who give boosted health. Look at her stats. That's a 800 attack, 807 defense, and massive 1769 health. Viveka can go on a Titan hit because with emblems, that 800 attack is going to go high. So if she's going to do even good tile damage, plus keeps boosting the health. Guys, think about it. That Titan's attack will also receive minus 39%. And what she does is she dispels buffs from all enemies. Is Viveka really a season 1 hero? I would love to hear some thoughts on this. That's the key punchline question from me to all my viewers and all the player community. Are these heroes still season 1 heroes? We need to really clean our lenses and see them as heroes of season 4 or 5. You might want to give that a serious thought. While we keep talking about these legendary fellows, let's peep in and see what Khalil does. 788 attack, 767 defense, and 1231 health. That's high for a 4-star. She's fast speed and she whacks 220 damage to target and nearby. It gives a burn damage of 61 per turn for 3 turns, and she absorbs 30% of the dealt burn damage as health. So she technically heals herself. She does 3 things. You remember? Doing 3 things as part of the special. For our new heroes that we see these days, Season 4, Season 5, the new challenge event buggers, the new seasonal event fellows, and some more fancy heroes are coming with 3-portion specials. So the special delivers 3 parts. And there is a kicker right at the end, which is going to add a 4th dimension or maybe even the 5th dimension to this whole thing. You know what's going on? There's lots and lots of choice being put on a wider range of players. Who else do I peep into? Let's check what Isarnia is doing. 245 damage to all, minus 34 attack against all enemies. Nature, this becomes uncleansable and lasts for 2 turns. And she hammers the fire fellows extra. She will be taken to whack fire guys for sure. And she's not going to be left alone in that corner because she's a Season 1 hero. This is crazy. Let's see Alkinen. What does he do? He now whacks everybody. He used to be such a low attack. Now it is 762 with emblems and limit break. This can go up because if somebody really wants to use this hero, and many players, believe me, will use this hero, not the deep, massive roster. I might not use this hero. I'm saying might. So there is still a question mark, but there will be a huge number of players that can actually use this hero. Massive survivor, does a damn good job on defense, and he has been designed for defense because read on. He hammers everybody, whacks everybody, and all enemies get minus 50 degrees of any healing, and he does that at fast speed. This effect cannot be cleansed, which means there is a third aspect to this special. Quite a relevant hero, and surely not Season 1. I would put him somewhere in Season 3 and Season 4, thereabouts. So there you go. I mean, I'm not going to cover some of the heroes. They can be seen. Okay, let's cover all. 260 to 3. Target nearby gets a burn damage and accuracy. And so, again, 3-part special of June. Horgil, the ones that most of us loved when we started playing the game and wanted him bad, but hated the hell out of him and never leveled him later on. So he hits all, negative attack, and further decrease, which means it really keeps going down, and he gives a poison damage. So I don't find it so crazily appealing, but oh my god, look at that health. He's going to live and he's going to hurt bad. I copy this guy a lot using Lolo, I can tell you that. And that is where it becomes very interesting. Kagan, watch what this guy does. 285 damage to all with that 829 attack. Receive a moderate amount of mana. So this guy is moving already after the first fire towards becoming an average speed. All allies get plus 40 defense for 5 turns. So, useful guy, clearly. Justice, 270 damage to all. Damage is increased by 45% for every dead, and accuracy crap. So, we know what accuracy does. They all became very useful and relevant. And seeing what Khalil is doing, I would like to believe the same is going to happen to the 4 stars and the 3 stars. These heroes, used with proper strategy and synergy, We have clear potential to be brute force on offense for sure and on defense also. Isn't it crazy? The costume bonuses are not just adding the attack, health, and defense, but that mana doubling to 10%. Players with lower level troops can use these heroes, charge them up fairly well, and also, if if you think about it, the troops, because when I flip that aspect of the troop, technically through this mana bonus, SG just gifted us 5 to 7 leveling of the troops. So our troops from level 1 went to 6 straight. Do you realize that? So do the calculations based on your roster and really enjoy this mana bonus via your troops by charging up your heroes faster and enjoying their specials. SG has announced that there is something in the area of family bonus for Season 1 heroes. So Season 1 heroes are not going to be orphans when it comes to family bonus. They are going to get their own unique family bonus, and it'll be absolute fun because most of us, for sure, have multiple Season 1 heroes. And looking at their specials, I mean, their specials are fantastic, which means they're going to be used more and more. They're going to be brought into play more and more. I'm really damn excited. I want to also acknowledge SG's reaction time of late, for the last few months especially, to any query, any problem, any scenario has really improved. So I am really liking the speed with which SG is providing certain resources, certain things within the game. Just there is a complaint that comes from certain quarters that we players would like to receive things more free of cost without spending, and SG is putting it behind a paywall. Well, that is a two-way street, and I will not get into the paid versus non-paid because that's a defeating argument, and that can be done with somebody else in some another space. I don't participate in that particular area. My point is paid, non-paid, huge amount of choice. And yes, there is a fairly better amount of choice, better quality of choice that is now becoming available via the non-paid route. How? I'm going to end it on this particular note and obviously discuss one particular challenge. I already have Season 1 heroes that are available through TC20. So when I pull a costume through the keys that I get from Mystic Vision or any other source, I mean, it comes from the rare chests, elemental chests, it comes from various loots. So we get a fair amount of keys, and a legendary hero or any of the other heroes, when their details come out, will also benefit. When they pop out, I don't have an irrelevant hero that I scroll. These latest costumes give me access to 2 heroes, which are very good quality. Because now I have choices between 3 versions of the heroes. I could use the secondary version across both the heroes. So there you go. There is a benefit in whatever is going on. We can either concentrate on problems or look at what is possible. I choose the latter. I have been happy regarding many things coming into the game and being available for the player community, but these costumes, the secondary Season 1 costumes, have made me the happiest regarding the overall player base because Season 1 costumes are there with all of us. And if they can become great enablers to have more fun and play competitively, it's absolute super fun. So Thanks for being in this journey for this particular discussion. Enjoy and see you in the next video. Cheers.